Imagine being in the midst of breathtaking scenery, but then encountering something so horrifying that it sends shivers down your spine. We'll explore some of the scariest and most enigmatic camping encounters in today's video. These terrifying tales of avalanches, haunting whispers, Bigfoot sightings, and tragic encounters will make you reconsider setting up camp in the wilderness. Now let's get started. The disturbing running noise. Every sound in the woods might make your heart race when you're by yourself. What if you hear something so unsettling that completely disturbs you? A weird running noise was heard by a man who was out in the forest carrying his dog. He chose to record the noise as it became more intense, catching what appeared to be a distant scream. The sound made the hairs on the back of his neck rise up. It was so unnerving. What could have produced a sound so terrifying? Was it a distressed someone, an animal, or something much darker? The man was severely upset by the incident. Officers narrow escape from a fire. While looking for 4 nurses who were stranded at Feather River Hospital in Paradise during a huge wildfire in 2018, Officer Aaron Primley found himself in a life-or-death situation. Aaron's automobile broke down, and he had to continue walking as flames spread over the region. He knew that his last moments might be captured on camera, so he kept his body cam rolling while he recorded his terrifying trip through the fire. He somehow found the nurses, guided them to safety, and avoided getting hurt in the fire. The video is an incredibly moving tribute to the bravery and tenacity of people who risk their lives to save others. Bigfoot sighting. Many have been enthralled with the Bigfoot mythology for many years, but very few have succeeded in obtaining convincing proof of the mysterious monster. Jim Mills, the director of Campus Life, a youth organization, led a crew of young men on their yearly camping trip in June 2001. They had no idea that their journey would take an unexpected turn. They saw indications that something unusual had been in the region while trekking. Abruptly, a silhouette emerged, making its way down a slope before vanishing into the forest. There was discussion about whether or not the group had indeed seen Bigfoot after they were able to capture the creature on tape. Was this merely another instance of mistaken identity, or the evidence that cryptozoologists had been looking for? The missing camper. The experience of watching a video of a missing person is especially disturbing. A man made the decision to go camping by himself and recorded the trip on camera. However, what had begun as a routine vacation swiftly turned horrific. Unusual sounds started to reverberate through the forest as night fell. Clearly terrified, the man attempted to approach the source of the noises and ordered whatever it was to stop bothering him. Trembling with anxiety, he tried to find out what was chasing him by venturing further into the darkness. The video closes with an enigmatic person appearing. Sadly, this was the final video that was ever taken of the individual, who is still missing for. How did he end up? The film is a chilling reminder of the potential hazards that exist in the outdoors, even though the answers may never be understood. Avalanche at Miniso Base Camp. For several campers at Miniso Base Camp, this was simply another day. Having no idea that Mother Nature was ready to unleash its wrath, they were encircled by the majestic grandeur of snow-capped mountains. Suddenly, there was trembling on the ground, and a huge avalanche crashed down onto the slope of the hill. As mountains of snow rushed toward them, a camper who was able to keep his camera ready managed to record the horrifying scene. Anyone could have been terrified by the avalanche's power and speed, but amazingly, none of the camp's occupants perished. Such avalanches serve as a clear reminder of the erratic perils that can exist in the backcountry. Ghost Whisper in Hawaii. While it may seem like a wish fulfilled, camping on a stunning Hawaiian beach was actually a terrifying experience for 2 friends. They chose to camp on a remote beach after becoming enthralled by the breathtaking sky's hues. Surprising to them, as they were filming the landscape, they caught a haunting voice that claimed to appear out of nowhere. They were startled by the whisper that they had missed at the time when they subsequently watched the video. They wondered if they had come across a ghostly presence on the seashore after having such a disconcerting experience. Was this merely a wind-related illusion, or might it be evidence of the paranormal? Snake encounter. Being in the woods requires you to be ready for everything. even potentially dangerous wildlife interactions. A large snake was unexpectedly seen creeping towards a family who was having a great time on their camping trip. One man was drinking his beer leisurely as the snake approached, seemingly unaffected, whereas most would have freaked out. The man's composed manner was nearly as astonishing as the snake itself, even though the rest of the family stayed their distance. Would you be fleeing in the other direction, or would you be able to maintain your composure like he did? Face to face with wolves. It seems exactly the kind of nightmare to wake awake in the midst of a dark night and discover that wolves are everywhere. However, a solitary camper in the woods experienced precisely that. He was confronted by a group of Arabian wolves when he opened his eyes. Amazingly, he didn't panic and maintained his composure, and the wolves were more intrigued in his camping pad than in him. They played with it, licked it, and even attempted to take it, but they never displayed any violent behavior. The fact that the man remained composed under pressure shows that, on occasion, maintaining composure is the best defense against encounters with wild creatures. Camping among the dead. Camping is meant to be a way to get away from the daily grind, but what if there was anything lurking around your camp? Imagine choosing to camp in an area where there are a lot of dead people. This couple chose to camp in a graveyard-like setting where remains were buried and arranged to appear for a religious ceremony. Most of us would have nightmares at the mere idea of camping beside the dead, but this duo didn't seem to mind. If you were camping and happened across such a situation, how would you respond? Would you run as quickly as you could, or would you stay? Confrontation on private property. While camping, it must be ensured that you're not breaking any laws while doing so. After a lengthy drive, a couple chose a camp close to a private land and discovered this unexpectedly. They were so tired that they thought no one was going to notice. However, the landlord soon showed up and insisted on leaving. The owner, who lived on the opposite end of the road, was tired of visitors causing mischief and starting fires. Even though they were irritated, the couple made the decision to go, but not before expressing how sick of wealthy people and their beachfront homes they were. Lost boy and his dog. Though every parent's biggest dread is losing their kids in the forest, this story has a touching conclusion. A 4-year-old boy has disappeared while they were out in New Jersey. A rescue team was promptly put together in response to the family's panic. The child and his devoted dog were discovered by the police several hours later, safe and sound. The child just replied that he had misplaced his shoes when asked if he was okay. Many people believed that the dog had saved the boy's life after seeing the viral footage of the rescue. The tragic death of James Boyd. Not every tale about camping has a good conclusion. A homeless man called James Boyd was tragically killed on March 16, 2014, when he was unlawfully sleeping in the Albuquerque foothills. Boyd was sleeping when police came over to talk to him about setting up an unauthorized encampment. As soon as things got out of hand, Boyd turned his back on the cops and was shot dead. Many people were outraged by the episode and questioned if using force was necessary. The entire incident was captured on police body cam film, which showed Boyd holding a knife in his hand and standing motionless before being shot. Moose encounter. Unexpected wildlife interactions are a common part of camping, though not always harmful. While having a great time camping with friends, a moose unexpectedly emerged from the woods. The enormous creature ambled across the encampment with a placid demeanor, despite its intimidating appearance. The pals were overjoyed to record the event on camera and create a memory they would always treasure. Surviving a bear encounter. The prospect of coming across a bear when going camping gives many of us goosebumps. But in this scary situation, one man understood just what to do. A bear emerged out of nowhere as he was camping in the woods and started to approach him. While others would have panicked, this man maintained his composure and stood his ground. He held his ground, protected by his gun, and the bear finally withdrew. It's possible that his calmness and fast thinking saved his life. Ancient Ram Inn Paranormal Investigation. Renowned for its supernatural events, the Ancient Ram Inn in England draws adrenaline junkies and ghost hunters from all over the world. Taking it a step further, a YouTuber set up camp inside the inn in the hopes of filming something spooky. He was absolutely unprepared for the unsettling noise that both he and his friend heard. The sound got louder as they listened intently, sending shivers down their spines. The YouTuber's expression said it all. Both he and his companion behind the camera were truly afraid. It's reasonable to say that they might reconsider trying to conduct another ghost study at the ancient Ram Inn. Conclusion. These tales serve as a helpful reminder to be ready for anything, to keep safe, and to honor the natural world. Have you ever gone camping and encountered something weird or frightening? Tell us about your experiences in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, like, and subscribe to ensure you don't miss any more spooky stories from the wild.